Good evening. Last time I raided a dungeon that was in the area I was digging out, got some fourth discs, saddle that I'll never use, and some other random junk that includes cocoa beans. I also, since then, have dug out and established my rubber trees down here, and I use the area that's above it temporarily as a location for a sort of indoor farm. I haven't had success breeding what I want between the melons and, the pumpkins and the wheat or reeds. But I have done a couple of other things, such as... didn't work out right. Oh, I got birds in here. Chickens. And the chickens, now that they're adults, can be encouraged to get together and make more chickens. Actually, why aren't there any eggs down here? Oh well. The reeds, sugarcane, depending upon how long you've been playing the game, are useful for producing books and notebooks. I have not yet produced a Myst writing desk, but I don't quite have the resources for Mystcraft, that is, for working with that just yet, so I'm not really going to press forward. I've also set aside the resources that I need to start with, initially for cooking anyway: iron, copper, and sticky resin. Oh, I also need some tin, but that will come later. Now I'm showing you the Forestry and the Red Power 2 coppers, since later you will very likely not see those again from me. This is just going to be quick. I'll smelt through each of these and get it done. Click. Get out of there. Oh, I also... over here. There's the 8 that I smelted last time. So right here, this is what forestry copper looks like. And I've actually never seen it smelted in this form before. I've always macerated it or done something else with that copper. And this, of course, slightly different material, is what the Red Power 2 copper looks like. Now, the sticky resin you'll only want to cook like this if you have no other reasonable choice. And in this case, I have no other reasonable choice. It's a shame. You know what, I'm going to hold off cooking all of this because I don't quite need all of it cooked. I will come back and split up some of this work with some other stuff. May even... Now, I'll just let this all cook. I might actually deposit a tree in here since I've got an abundance of the saplings. Aww. So, all of the items that I need require refined iron, which is an industrial craft item. It's twice cooked iron. And yeah, I can use this from here. Okay, so in order to make a macerator, you need a machine block, copper wire, now they're the same thing. Going to need 7 of those done up. May as well have done the 8th one, but whatever. An electronic circuit. 3 of those. And I believe that it's something like that. Yeah, there we go. 1 macerator. Now, I'm also going to need single coal and 1 more redstone to get started. Finally, I need to figure out where I want to put this. That's actually an important point right now. Let's see, if I wanted to do something fancy, like set up the machines along this wall. Yeah, I kind of like that. Done it different ways in the past, but this time I think I'm going to do it that way. So there is a macerator, there is a single piece of coal, and there is a single piece of redstone. And that redstone should have provided just enough energy to macerate the coal. Which gives me coal dust. Now, coal dust should always be, well, when you're making batteries out of it, you should always hydrate your coal dust. And let's see, oh, I need redstone for that. Have not made batteries in months. Now it's either that way, yep, there we go. Wonder if the other way works too. They both work, excellent. Of course, the wire has to be on top, unless it's a shapeless. No, it's not shapeless. So there we go. 8 single-use batteries. Now, I need to consult my table for the next steps. I'm going to need two tin ore and 4 iron ore macerated. And I'm not going to do a 1 gen. I'm down here at base. There's no way that makes any sense. Iron. Okay, so it looks like I need to do 2 tin of any kind, it doesn't matter. Anything that is not silver. Industrial craft, you've provided me with so much tin and so little copper. And the rest iron. Oh, actually, speaking of copper, I am going to need some more copper as well. Not for the next item though, so I can just blissfully go through making it. Since cobblestone is no object for me right now, there's one cobblestone thing. Not that one. That one. Into my inventory you go. And one sapling to carry that reaction over. Now that one had 6, so using my furnaces and my smelts wisely. Perfect. Okay. Now, I marked down that I wanted to use the iron furnace method for this, and I think that's because it saved me smelting a couple of things. So there's an iron furnace. I could actually use it, but I don't have a pickaxe, and if I don't break it with a pickaxe, then I would lose it. That's fine. That will work. 3, 6. Noticing a bit of lag on my system. Of course, since I don't have a cow right now, the only good thing to do with eggs is make more food. Good. That one. Next, a reusable battery, the 3 refined iron, and the iron furnace create a generator. Now, a generator will supply power to any adjacent blocks, but that's a little inflexible. I prefer to set up with a cable immediately, and there's my generator. Now, your generator will hold 1 single coal's worth of power. Your macerator will continue to run and macerate stuff and be happy. And the next item does not need iron. It needs more copper. So let's actually use some of that Industrial Craft 2 copper. Get that out of there, do a reaction switch. Thank you. And I'm going to want to make an electronic circuit, a machine block, and a bunch of tree taps. Well, at present, I don't quite have enough refined iron cooked up, but I can get it like that. Oh, I know why I only gave myself 3 of those. But I would rather do all of them that way. You little... Give me some more power. Just enough to finish the current operation, please. Then enough to refill it. All of that. So when you cook a dust, you end up getting an ingot out of it. And I only need 3 of these cooked, and all of these cooked. So there's my machine block. Now, to get the electronic circuit, I'm going to have to take that back. Because I made exactly enough rubber to do the job. Wait a minute, it needs an electronic circuit? I forgot to account for 1 iron. Darn it. One more refined iron. Okay, now that I have the other refined iron, I can make that electronic circuit. There. Let's see, tree taps. Got 2. Oops. There's the tree tap pattern again, in case you forgot about it. Now, I think, like that. The other way? Yeah, there we go. There's my extractor. Now, the extractor I'm going to put up there. And it doesn't have any power. That's okay. This has plenty of power. But I want to connect it without using any rubber. So while it's connected without using any rubber, I'm going to stand well away from it. Maximum reach distance, because this conducting energy right here will hurt you. It will also hurt enemies. In fact, see, there we go. I've also found that a pit like this, with just the industrial craft scaffolding, is great for holding those in. They can't seem to get out. Yay. Okay, now that I don't need to be stingy about my rubber, that's better. See, now I can stand right next to this and it doesn't hurt me. Let's get rid of that last uninsulated wire. Okay, so now I have a way of leveraging the amount of rubber that I have collected. Let's check that one. And that one. So you can see I forced the block to update by using the torch on it. And now I've got, it gave me 6. It only gave me 5. It's out of power. So it being out of power is a minor issue. Yes, I would like an iron furnace. That requires an electronic circuit and an electronic furnace requires an iron furnace and an electronic circuit, which means I need 5 iron total plus 1 more refined iron. So 1, 2. I only need 2 of those because it'll give me 4. No, I do need 3. So there's that, and there's that. And I can stick an extra wire out here and expand my network slightly. Want all of that energy going down here. I've got more than enough to do that. So, the other recipe for wires is that. You get the copper wires directly. But you don't get the choice in distributing where your rubber goes or upgrading them to rubber later. You have to pay for it all at once. Let's see. If I put in 1 charcoal, do that, and then 1 sapling, I can loop it all the way around and get what I want out of the deal. Meanwhile, well, I'm not going to need that anymore, but I don't have the tools to take it down without losing it right now, so I'll just make another. Okay, roll call, where is everyone? One of you still had the baby, so I can't breed the rest of you because I don't know which one's free, and there's only 1 free anyway. hold that inventory. The electronic furnace requires that. Iron furnace, and I think it was like that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now I can do horridly wonderful things like, say, burning 5 wood into charcoal without any loss. Sweet. You know what, I've been watching too many other people's Let's Plays. And you are not the one that I wanted. But you were strong enough to give me something interesting. There we go. Oh, if you're wondering what the markers up there are, it's a commonly used mod that I am trying for the first time this playthrough, called, I think it's Ray's Minimap or something similar to that. Probably pronouncing it wrong. It was a Japanese name. I think it's a Japanese name anyway. And so far I'm liking the map. And I also like the fact that it's a plain text format, so it's easy to edit. You can see that I put torches on the waypoints up there in the actual world so that someone walking around could see where my stuff was. It looks like I set up torches out there. I don't know what one of them, I think one of them is my old tree farm, and the other one next to it is the spawn point on the server. I don't think the air quality in this room is quite high enough to get what I'm looking for out of that. Another egg. So yeah, if I had a cow, I've got all the other ingredients I need to make cookies or even cake. But I don't, so I'm not. Okay, what's next on the list? We've got this furnace, we've got this other thing. Don't actually want to make the mining stuff just yet. So instead, what I need to make is another electronic circuit, a bunch of iron, drill. Yeah. Oh, you know what I should make? Got enough redstone for it. It's going to be a little annoying. But I'm going to make a batbox. Since said batbox is useful for numerous things. So I'm going to finish extracting you, and why do I have an extra iron? Well, make use of it. So this is somewhat annoyingly slow, but it is worthwhile, very worthwhile. Since the batbox will allow me to buffer 10 coals worth of energy, and that way I can drop off a significant number of coal and just keep everything running without constantly babysitting the generator. That, I think anyone would agree, is a good thing. Speaking of constantly babysitting the generator, It's having trouble supplying everything with its wants. 10 EU per tick. Not quite enough to get the job done. Constantly babysitting the generator. How many do we have total? 12. Good. Perfect. I am actually going to need more copper done too. So, you might remember me saying, just earlier this episode, how I was showing you what those other two coppers looked like after they were made, because you wouldn't be seeing them again. And it's not that I'm out of that ore, it's that when I use this process, no matter what the copper ore that goes into it is, the result is the same copper dust. That same exact copper dust that happily turns into the IC2 version of copper. Okay, finish off that battery's worth. Yeah, have fun with that. So, that's why I needed to make more wire. Oops. And once again, there's the recipe for a reusable battery. You might run across an issue where they don't stack after they've been used in the machine. They are still perfectly good in recipes, it's just an MBT glitch issue. So there's a batbox. And I run into a small issue here. I want to make the next item before I make the batbox. Darn it. That next item is also going to require an electronic circuit, and a battery, and some other stuff. You know what? I need to burn at least that many. 10. So I've got the electronic circuit. I'll just let that one finish, just because it's easier. Let's manage the chickens. Oh, hey. You and you. You and you. I should have good. Okay, well that's working. Oh. Just coat all of those up. One more electronic circuit. 5 of those. 10. I'm going to need the battery before I proceed. Excellent. And that will help that drain off. So I think it's one of these two. Wait, there we go. One mining drill. I almost made myself a chainsaw. The chainsaw is not what I need right now. Sure, I'll want one of those soon, but not right now. I'd like for you to power that up, please. Churn through the rest. And give me it all here. Okay, since this is the very low-level machine, there is, I think, a 100% chance that I will get it back. Yes. Or at least extremely high. And that's actually just outside of my chunk. It's on the other side of the thing there. So instead, what I'll do is I'll put that one there, generator there, and then the batbox. This flooring is annoying, very annoying. Batbox I'm going to very carefully place against there, so its output faces this way, and I'm going to link it. I don't like the way I did that. Now, well, the generator you'll always get back. These other machines, not so much. Charcoal goes in. Let's put all the charcoal in there since I'm making more as I speak. Oh yeah, I want to point out, my sword is almost dead too. Oh, I also collected some bees since last time. How long am I going in the recording here? Not bad for the 40-minute mark. So let me cook my dinner. I need more refined iron. And more importantly, even more tin. In fact, just get a good stack of that going. Well, I'm not sure I have that much battery to spare. So let's cook that iron while I'm waiting. I'm actually going to need one more iron. And 3 more copper. Oh, would you look at that? I already went through all of the iron I had found. There are a couple of approaches to that. There is an Industrial Craft 2 recipe. I think it involves either 5 tin and 4 copper dust, or 5 copper dust and 4 tin dust in a sort of checkerboard configuration. And that produces 1 iron dust out of the 9 dusts. And then there's also a method using tin dust and a red power 2 furnace. And I am actually inclined to use the red power 2 furnace method. I think I need to cook 32 clay to get that, since that will let me get an alloy furnace going. Let's do the electronic circuit. Oh, no, wait, I can't do that either. Got that stuff to do. Oh, hey, look, I already had tin ore on me. Joy for that. So with these, 4 of them produces a brick. In total, you need 8 bricks. So 4 times 8 is 32. Yep. That's going to take a little while, though. Power's at 3 coals, so I can drop in 7 and not worry about it. Let's go up and check on my coal resources out there. Oh yes, for those of you uninitiated, the, ooh, I may have gotten what I want out of that. For those of you who are uninitiated, the Industrial Craft drill never gets damaged, it just uses up power. So, if I wanted copper, there we go. It is equivalent, at this level, to an iron pickaxe. And, speed as well. I don't actually want this section drilled out just yet, so putting it back together. So yes, it's equivalent to an endless iron pickaxe, and for the cost of 3 diamonds you can upgrade it, but that also increases the amount of energy that it needs to operate. Since I'm on a bit of an energy budget at the moment, I'm going to suck it up and let it take the slower one. The only material that I can't mine with it that I'd need something else for is obsidian, actually. Every other material in all the mods that I'm using is perfectly happy with an iron pickaxe mining it. And actually, the obsidian, I don't need to spend diamonds to get either. Red Power 2 has a solution for that. Put a block breaker by it. The block breaker, since there's only 1 level of it, is perfectly able to chew through the obsidian and get it. Maybe, after a more advanced version of that is added, you won't be able to do that, but currently that's the case. Do I have any eggs for me? Nope. How are we doing on this? The extractor is not useful for that. That and the iron. Oh, right, I didn't have the iron. That's why I was doing this. Okay, this is how you make a Red Power 2 alloy furnace. Sweet. And this is how you slightly annoy me by doing things in the wrong order. Let's get that out of the way. that together. Okay, so my problem is that, well, I've got more than enough tin to make the next thing. See, I've got 6 more. I don't want that one there. I don't have enough tin in order to proceed with something else. But I can make a bucket out of tin, thanks to Industrial Craft. That thankfully adds it. I didn't earlier, for some crazy reason, because I thought I was going to find plenty of iron, and not enough tin. So, here we go. Plop down this other kind of furnace now. This is also outside the chunk bound. This is inside the chunk bound. Where do I want this lovely tool? I actually want it right there where my torch was. There's a reason for that. It's just easier to do it for now, though. And if I put in the bucket, actually let's put in 2 buckets. What I can do is convert the bucket directly back into iron. So that allows you to recycle your materials. And in this case, I'm using the loophole to convert between a bucket and something else. And the source material that buckets are normally made out of. I need to stop playing so many of these in a day. Here is the other recipe. I once, when I was new to this mod, asked someone, is there something like an electric axe? Why, yes. Yes, there is. Now, each of these holds 10,000 units of power. There are extras called batbox that you can wear on your back. The base one requires 6 batteries, a tin, and an electronic circuit. However, I don't even have decent armor yet, so not doing that. Now when my axe breaks, I don't care. Oh, there's also something else that this is good for. Yeah, I've got enough eggs. It works just like a sword. Fairly high-level sword, too, as you might imagine a chainsaw is capable of. Not super precise and deadly, not quite a diamond sword, but somewhere around ruby sword level. Good, decent sword. And with a good drill and a good sword, and I've got shift held down. So, I got all the way through the basic steps of beginning industrial craft. I made a generator so we can get power. I made a macerator so we can double our ores, and I didn't show it to you, but it will also convert sand. It will also convert sandstone into sand, as well as cobblestone into sand. I don't know what it will do with stone put in there. Do something interesting. I haven't tried that yet. But yes, this will turn cobblestone into sand, as you will see shortly. And I also showed you the little loophole cheat between Industrial Craft and Red Power 2, as well as setting up the extractor and the other basic machines. In fact, there's only one basic machine that I don't have yet, and that's the final machine, which I'll end up putting up here, from the base level. It's called the compressor, and the reason it's the final machine is because that's the machine that you need in order to compress things, like coal dust into various carbon items and or diamonds, or compressing a multi-layer metal alloy into an advanced metal alloy result. The advanced metal alloy, of course, is an integral component in all of the advanced industrial craft machines, including nuclear reactors. So that's most of the Tier 1 tech level from industrial craft. This is the gateway to making cool stuff in red power. And forestry, well, I really wanted the Macerator and the electric furnace to make it a lot easier for me to produce metal items. I'll probably be doing bees very shortly, some other stuff as well. But for now, have a great time and enjoy the game.